All right, what's up folks? Johnny Andrews, author platform rocket, and in this video I want to use this whiteboard to take you through the 3 steps to creating, growing, and scaling a more profitable author platform. But before we get started, if you want someone to take a look at your business and help you become more profitable, you can check out the next video in the series at profitableauthorcall.com. Don't need your email or anything like that. You can just watch the video. I know, shocking, right? So cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down. It's a 3-step process, and the reason I'm doing it on the whiteboard is because it's a little more complex than it used to be back in the day, if you will. And I want to do something fun in this video also. So even if you're watching this on the replay, I do these author hot seats. I don't know if you saw the one that I've done a couple of days ago. Basically took an author's entire business, broke it down, and said, okay, let's put it into each one of the buckets. So we have, here's the evergreening promotion, here's this, here's that, here's that, and gave them an action plan that they could use to go forth and become more profitable. So if you want to do one of those things, here's how to do it. I will be pulling randomly from the comments. Let me know who you are, drop the link to your Amazon author page, and let's kind of take a look at things and see if there's something that we can do there. Cool? All right, so what are the 3 steps involved in creating said profitable author platform? Well, before we jump into that, let me kind of give you a background as to why this is important. So if you have been in the groups, you've been doing this any length of time, and by the groups I'm talking about lots of author Facebook groups that have tens of thousands of authors, like for example, 20 Books to 50K, amazing group by the way, you should totally be in there. Author Marketing Association, the one that I'm usually messing about inside of, totally great, you should be there too. And then all of the others, you probably heard like a recurring theme that folks who were at the top of their game are starting to get kind of, beat down a little bit because a lot of the things that worked previously aren't working now, including email, meaning it's not as kick butt as it used to be for some reason. Well, there's a lot of reasons behind it. And the reason why you want to focus on platform, but doing it in the way that I'm about to show you, is so you can capture, connect, convert. And as you might imagine, that is how this formula works. But capture is not what you might be thinking. So here's what's fun about this. Part 1, so if you want to stand out, and that is really the goal, because think about the thousands of authors that have been pouring into the market, the millions of books sitting there on top of the millions that are coming in at any given time. Every genre is essentially flooded. Fiction, nonfiction, Kindle Unlimited, wide, totally doesn't matter. Everybody's starting to have the same kind of issues. And those issues are related to being able to stand out, but more importantly, stay front of mind. So, do you want to drive people directly to buy things from places like Amazon, iBooks, Kobo? Not anymore, actually. Even if you're Kindle Unlimited, I'm going to explain that in this video. All right, so the first step is going to be capture. All right, so we'll do capture. We'll just abbreviate it like that there, the capture. And normally, this is going to look like some sort of like, here's your book, there's the title, blah, 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 by this amazing human. And so this is going to be like a book or a short. Our favorite, if you've gone to, authorplatformrocket.com/live, we have that perpetual giveaway thing that we do. Works great, totally does. So the quintessential capture situation, totally awesome. It can work for you, but it gets cooler than that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw out what a normal, traditional sort of, let's even call it a funnel, is going to look like. And then I'm going to show you how, because of where technology is right now, because of where social media is right now, and because where the noise in the marketplace is right now, I'm going to give you a couple of mods that can take that 3-step process and actually kind of squish it into 2, which is nicer, right? Okay, cool. So the capture, this will be like, name an email in exchange for free book, that sort of stuff, which then puts them onto your little email list. Let me see if I can draw an email icon thing here, right? And then they'll go to some kind of landing page where they can get your stuff. And hey, by the way, also say hi. So for those of you joining, if we're live, drop me your Amazon URL, because I am going to be pulling people at random to do one of those author business makeover hot seats. Good times indeed. All right, so typically the capture form, email, blah, 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 in exchange, free book, free short. Then they go to the thank you page. All right, now at this stage already, we can start to get a little cooler. And so what we typically do is we gamify. Now, if you're not familiar with gamification, that's just adding in some cool elements like, hey, share with friends, do all this stuff, but where they're rewarded for those actions. You know, so if you ever played a game on your phone and realized they just ended up spending, and in no way do I have any idea about how this works. I've never done this myself. But ended up spending like tons of money on that thing. That's what gamification is. You know, there's an app called Two Dots. Do not get it. It will eat your soul. It is so like addictive. It's nuts. So on the thank you page, if you want to gamify it and get a little bit of that kind of going on for yourself, what you want to do is reward and incentivize them to follow you on social media and also to share it with their friends. Because as they say, you know, birds of a feather, you know, maybe they read those things too and they have friends that'll do it. And so they can propagate that throughout social media. Now, is this effective? Oh my word, yes. Absolutely effective. So you've captured their name and email, and then we have social, and it's share/follow right there. So this is why we use the giveaway system that we do in this particular program. But you can, you do this with whatever you want. So if you just want to use like a simple landing page, totally cool. You can use that simple landing page. But your work is not done. Oh, no. So here, this is where this front piece here is where I think pretty much everybody is very familiar. But here's the problem. The connection phase. There we go. The connection phase now has gone beyond email. So there's been a lot of push to say, okay, build up an autoresponder. And if you don't know what an autoresponder is, that's going to be like Aweber, MailChimp, MailLite, what is it, ActiveCampaign, all those kinds of things. You know, that's where they warehouse your names and emails and then send the messages on a schedule. So it used to be that you could just do what's called a drip campaign, meaning someone comes through here, they're going to get said free book or free short or whatever that is, free video, whatever you're doing, and then they're going to go through a process that is kind of it's going to send them your books if you have more in like your series and that kind of thing. Now, is that good? Yes. But here's the problem. It looks like everybody else. So the issue that we have is that we somehow have to stand out a little bit. And so this is where it's going to get kind of a little spooky and a little weird and a little different, because the amount of conversations that I have with authors who say, I've heard of this pixel thing, but I really don't know what it means, is astounding. All right, like I said, if you went, and if this is one of these things that we do this with our clients like all the time, this is just one of the many buckets that we talk about. So if you want to see what that program looks like, you can go to profitableauthorcall.com. And like I said, no need to enter an email address or anything. You just watch the video right there. All right, so here we have the pixel. And just for this video, we're going to assume this is the pixel. And here we have the pixel. And it's firing lead. The lead event. Now, what does that mean? A lead is a confirmed subscriber, meaning this is going to say view content, and this is going to say lead. Make sure you don't mess those up. I've seen that before, is where an author will put the lead up here. And then it's like, oh, I'm getting tons of leads for like 4 cents. I'm like, no, you're not. They're got to fire over here. All right, so what happens is you can run advertising to this and specifically optimize for the event that you want, which is a lead. All right, you don't just want to click. Nobody cares about clicks. People want an outcome, and the outcome in this particular bucket that we're talking about right now is a lead, okay? So you can run your traffic. We'll say we're doing Facebook traffic here, that kind of thing, and you're optimizing it for this event. Hopefully this is making sense, all right? So we're optimizing for the lead event. Now, why are we concerned with this whole Facebook pixel? I mean, after all, aren't they a subscriber now? Aren't they going to get the famed newsletter? And the answer is yes, they are, but remember, it's not enough. The water level has risen, and so the bare minimum used to be just do this, but because everybody, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of authors who are doing something like this or in various ways right now. And what has ended up happening is the noise in every marketplace has drowned out the inbox. It's completely drowned out. And so lots of authors are using email effectively, but because there's so many, then the open rates have gone down and the click-through rates have gone down. And so what you want to do here is you want to create almost like a parallel universe. You want to think about this, okay? So when people fire this lead pixel, you want to go into Facebook Ad Manager and you want to tell it to, you can go into audiences and create, you can want to start building an audience of people that have fired that pixel. And so what's going to happen is down here, you're going to have a second version of reality happening. And this is going to be something where you're going to like show up in front of them, all right? And so, yes, you're going to have your normal autoresponder messages. So, you know, whether, I don't know what this is, book 1, 2, 3, and so forth and so on, where the call to action is, hey, you know, you can read the next book in the series right here. All right, this is absolutely 100% normal. Very cool. But if you really want to make a difference, what you're going to start doing is incorporating a little bit of additional stuff. Now, what I'm not going to talk about in this video is actually doing video. I think I've talked about that enough, and I'm hoping that people get it, that we are living at a time right now, at this moment, where it is the reach that you can get. I mean, some of my videos even have been seen by hundreds of thousands of authors at this point, which is why we're doing so many calls, is because the piece of connect that is usually missing from this particular situation is answering the question, what must I demonstrate to be true in order for people to want to buy my stuff? All right, so that is what you want to do with each piece of connection. And like I said, I'm not going to talk to you about video because I've been kind of doing it till I'm blue in the face. I'm going to give you a different solution for that. So what ends up happening here is I'm just going to answer the question for you. If you want your readers to have you, if you want to stand out to your readers in the ocean of people and get your profits back up, you have to stay front of mind. And front of mind does not mean that you need to be posting pictures of your sandwiches on social media every 15 minutes, nor does it mean that you need to be constantly jamming a buy my book ad in their face. That doesn't really work that well either. What that means is the people that have come through here have expressed at least enough interest to now go through a secondary sequence. And so yes, while you will definitely have this email thing going, and I'm going to give you one solution that is not video-based for this connection piece right here. And so what you'll want to start doing is having people, and this is going to be on your site. On your site, hopefully it's based in WordPress. If it's not, you're not a bad person. It's okay. I get it. But you absolutely must have your Facebook pixel at least firing on your site. So let's have the Facebook pixel here. Now, what you are going to start doing, because there's a barrier to all of this, right? So yeah, they jump through, free book, great. What we all know what happens then. Number one, a lot of them forget who you are. Number two, a lot of them don't download the book. Or if they do download the book, then number three, not all of them read the book. And I want you to think about why for a second. And this is really, really important. Because the current belief is that if you send a message or you make a post and people don't engage with it, meaning open it or like it or share it or whatever, that somehow means that you have either offended them or they're not interested. I would like to float a secondary idea past you here. And that is, if you send these messages and the open rate starts to go down a little bit, or if people aren't engaging with your content the way that you would like, it's not maybe because they don't like you. It's probably because they saw it, they were excited about it, but they don't have time. All right? Think about what happens in your own life. Let's say, think about the person that you cannot wait to hear from again. Somebody, a business thing, somebody that's helped you out a whole lot. It'd be great if it was me. I know, it's amazing. But even whoever, just anybody in your mind. And you see that email. I'll give you an example out of my own life. AppSumo. I buy like everything because I'm ridiculous like that, okay? And I'll see an email come through there. And I'm like, I know that's a good deal. I know it's a tool I'll probably use in the next 30 years, right? So it's like, I'll just kind of be like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna grab that. And then a lot of times what ends up happening is I have like 9 different things going on, and I'm in my certain scheduled email time. I'll go into I'll see it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally wanna get that. I will mark it as unread, fully meaning to come back and literally buy that thing. And then what happens? I'll get a phone call. I'll have to do it. I'll do an interview. I'll be building a summit. I'll be working with a client. We'll be doing, And next thing you know, it's like, 30 years later, and I'm like completely forgotten what that thing was that I literally wanted to spend money and buy. So I want to float that alternative theory past you to say, is it possible that it's not that people aren't interested or that they don't like you, it's that they might just be distracted by like everything going on in life. I mean, think about it. Our phones are ridiculous. They're commanding our attention at every single moment. That is one of the main reasons why people are falling off. This is why like authors doing 6, 7, 5, whatever figures a month suddenly start seeing these huge dips, is because there's been enough of market saturation combined with enough of everything happening out there that being able to just run baseline, the water level has risen, okay? And it used to be you could just run along this one line and it would work great. Now we have to add the secondary piece. And now this is not a whole bunch of buy my book kind of malarkey. Like I told you, I'm going to give you a solution that is not video based. So what you would do is, if you think about this, if you've been watching these videos, the number one question that you have to answer in everything you do is, what must I demonstrate to be true in order for people to want to buy my stuff? If you're an author, it's a really simple answer. And that is, the books that you are writing are going to give them that shot of dopamine, which is pretty much what everybody's looking for. Is like, to escape, they connect with the characters, whatever that is. Find out, like go ask your people, go find out from them. So what would you think would help with that? Let's give you the answer. For every book that you're sending them to, instead of sending them directly, say, to Amazon or Kobo or Nook or iBooks or anywhere, I would highly recommend that you send them to an LP, which means landing page, on your site, complete with our fuzzy little friend, the Pixel. And what do you suppose we would have on said LP? We're going to have a 1, 2, possibly 3-step process. And what you want to do is demonstrate what must be true in order for people to want to do business with you. All right? And like I've been saying, this is the kind of stuff that we're helping our clients build right now. So if you want help with this, you can go to profitableauthorcall.com. Like I said, there's no need to go toss it in an email or anything. You just watch the next video. If it sounds cool, you can set up a call and actually talk to some lunatic like me. So anyway, we're back on here with the landing page. You would do some juicy little shorts or a prequel or something leading up to this. And then, only then, now buy. And you can even phrase that, not just buy on Amazon or buy on Kobo or Nook or wherever it is, or download and read free. What you would say instead is to continue. If you want to continue, you can grab it on Amazon. You can read it free with Kindle Unlimited, like whatever kind of author you are, however you pull your shenanigans, that kind of thing. And what I would then do is start doing something called retargeting, which we'll talk about in another video, of people who have landed on this second piece. I think you could probably skip the people that land on part 1, but who don't necessarily click through to part 2. So you want to break that landing page up. Give them a little bit more. Make people take an extra step. Because literally, think about this. If they're enjoying what they're reading, if you make them click a link to get to that second piece, is it so bad? I mean, here's what happens. You want to put a barrier to entry a little bit. Making it too easy, it's just going to be meh. But just push this within your autoresponder series, and then you can follow up with continue the series on whatever platform that you're trying to get. Okay, so that is one thing. And you would do that for each book in your series. Now, like I said, this is just one of many different ways that you could do this, but I promised you, because I did a couple months ago, I did an ironic video on how to not do video kind of thing. And a lot of folks liked it because I know a lot of authors do not want to do video. You don't have to. We're having like ridiculous success with non-video stuff. We have some clients who are getting incredible click-through rates, like building massive audiences from this, because the capture and then the connect piece, the connection usually comes down to answering that fundamental question of what must I demonstrate to be true in order for people to want to buy my stuff. So why don't you demonstrate it here? Why would we demonstrate? Why would we force them into Amazon? Because if you think about what it's like on a mobile to hit that preview thing. It kind of like, I don't think they've really figured it out yet because it kind of dominates your screen. You're like, oh, that's so much stuff. And it's hard to consume the content. If you just go to, even the mobile Amazon site is difficult with that. So if you make it easy for them on like a mobile optimized page, I mean, that's a free WordPress plugin. And even with the sites that I totally don't recommend using, it's still free. You know, they mobile optimize for you, so all that should be fine. Just make sure you have that pixel in there because now you stay on top of them. You can run this for like $1 a day, no big deal at all. And like I said, it can be a real chilled out, hey, you'd like to continue the story, you can grab it here. Keep it simple, all right? You don't have, keep it classy, America, or whatever country you're in. That sort of thing. So that's what the Connect is what must I demonstrate to be true? And then just demonstrate it. Don't put any kind of like, once they've gone through this, you're great. But now, I told you at the beginning of this, I was going to show you how you can then, really quickly, let me finish. So when you capture and then focus on this connection piece, guess what happens? They convert. And that, I put a bunch of different currency indicators on that, but I only know mine. That's what happens here. Connection equals conversion. And it's not the kind of connection that most people think it is, where folks are just going to be, hanging out and, just talking to their fans or reading something or anything like that. You never, ever, ever put out content without direction and purpose. All right, so always have some kind of call to action, some kind of something, whether it's to, and I've talked about this in another video. What bucket are you in? Are you in your lead generation bucket? Are you in your evergreening sales bucket? Are you in your launch bucket, your pre-launch bucket? What bucket are you in? Whatever content you create has to then serve said bucket. All right, I know I'm getting a little bit out of the scope of this whole thing, but these 3 steps literally can transform your business very, very quickly. And so this is why I've been showing you all the case studies from the people that we're working with, going like, yes, if you follow this process and you put it in the right bucket and do the right things applied over time, what ends up happening is you make more money. You see? So if you want to stand out, you have to stay front of mind with your reader base. And this is fiction, nonfiction, this is everything. So if you don't want to put a part of your book, then put a lead up to your book. Just make it real juicy. It's got to be good. We're not talking like, juicy like romance kind of stuff, but it's like, it doesn't matter. It's sci-fi, everything. This works with literally everything. So, like I said, if you would like us to take a look at your business and, see if we can help you with this, you can go check out the next video in the series at profitableauthorcall.com. And like I said before, if you'd like to have us do a hot seat business makeover with you, just leave your Amazon author page URL right below the video. Cool? Can't wait to talk to you. Have a wonderful day.